Hello there, welcome to the Benson interviews, and on YouTube a special video introduction, and on the radio, well, you'll just hear me as normal, won't you? But on YouTube at least, you'll see I'm holding my 2007-2008 diaries. So this week, episode 3, we're looking at my interviews with the Lancashire Hotpots. I did 2 interviews with the Lancashire Hotpots in 2007, but stay tuned to the end because we've got a very special revisit interview with them from 2024. Anyway, if I go back to my diaries, 21st of July 2007, I wrote, "Today saw my interview with the Lancashire Hotpots at the Citadel in St Helens. After tea and Wetherspoons, my wife Rachel and I, we went to the Citadel for 7 o'clock. We spent 20 minutes with the band. Not only did we record a short interview, but we got their first album signed, never mind the Hotpots. And we saw them doing rehearsals. They were really friendly and a pleasure to meet. The Citadel was a strange venue, I wrote. In the bottom, it was standing room only with about 200 people jumping up and down to folk music, whilst at the top of the theatre there was 100 seats for the more conservative Hotpots fans. The concert itself was absolutely brilliant. We even had a game of Lanky Bingo, which had to be seen to be believed. An absolutely brilliant night. The concert was being recorded for an official DVD to come out before the end of the year. And there you go. There is my ticket from Lanky Bingo and my ticket from the Citadel." So that was my diary notes from the 21st of July 2007. Let's give it a listen to my very first interview with the Hotpots.
Okay, so we're at the St Helens Citadel now with the Lancashire Hotpots. Please introduce yourselves for our listeners.
Right, I'm Bernard Thresher. I'm the singer, guitar, ukulele kind of fellow. I'm the guy who gets a bit annoying halfway through when he keeps rambling on.
I'm Dickie Ticker. I do incidental percussion and I do write a lot of the songs as well.
Fantastic. Good evening, gents. And what are you like? Are you a bit nervous about tonight's performance?
Surprisingly not, I don't know why.
On the flip side of the coin, I'm very nervous.
It's possibly the reason why I'm not nervous is that I don't do particularly much on stage. I could pretty go on there and not do anything and most people wouldn't even notice.
Whereas on the other hand, I've got to do everything.
You've got to do everything,
and I'm worried. Slightly.
The pressure's on.
Yeah.
The pressure's on.
You've got a busy year though this year. I mean, it seems to have evolved completely. I mean, tell us more about 2007.
Well, it's gone from nothing on it. Gone from sitting in my front room just before Christmas, writing a song, recording it, and then bonkers.
This is it. We released the album in the beginning of April, and in terms of gigs, we've pretty much not got a free weekend for the rest of this year.
Oh. So what kind of places are you on tour during this year? Because for us Yorkshire listeners out there, you're off to Keighley as well, there's Leeds, where else?
There's Keighley, there's Leeds, there's Barnsley, Sheffield, Boardwalk in Sheffield.
Yeah.
So we're getting about a bit. It's not just Lancashire. But
my brother works under the boardwalk.
Does he really?
He's a sound man under the boardwalk. Fact. He'll snip it there. He's got a very healthy beard. Looks like he's got things nesting in it. So if you go in there and you see him, say hello.
Where's the best gig you've had so far then on your travels?
I'm probably going to go with Preston.
Preston was absolutely mental. We'd reached the stage whereby they were singing the songs before we went on, and they also spent a lot of money on the merchandise store, which is always a pleasure.
It's a happy moment. They were very responsive. They seemed to know all the words, and which helps when I forget mine.
We even had a Mexican wave as well.
Mexican wave, thumbs in the air. It was good.
Well, you're becoming recognisable. We go out for tea just tonight in Wetherspoons, and there was an emo bringing the food to the table, and it says cracking album that. So that's the stage. But I mean, you've been on the radio. Century play Chippy Tea every Friday, which is kind of obviously brought you into the public. I mean, it's all fantastic, isn't it?
This is it. We're good friends with Radio City in Liverpool. Glenn Hunt, he's our big supporter there. We do a lot of stuff for Radio Lancashire. We're up in their Open Centre on the 1st of August, which is a rather bizarre thing we're going to be doing. Rock FM in Preston, they're getting to be big chums of ours. Apparently XFM played us the Friday just gone. So we're hitting all the key media notes.
Been up nationals and all.
We have Radio 1. Colin Murray's played us quite a few times. Rob DeBank as well.
Get in there. Get in there. I like it.
Because I mean,
whirlwind, it's a roller coaster, and I'm on it.
they're like the recognisable tunes, and then you've obviously got the lyrics. What order do you do the song in? Do you think, oh, that's a good song, I like that, and then I'm going to change the words and think of something 21st century, or how the hell do you come up with it all?
I know, personally, myself, I try and hit on a hot topic, and the music can come later, as long as the gags are there, fit the tune around the gags, isn't it?
For a lot of stuff, it's just sayings and things that we do ourselves within the confines of the group. Yeah, so we can let a little bit of a secret out. One of the new songs from the next album that I'll be performing is Keys Won't Phone. And that's something we always say. As soon as anyone gets up and starts to leave the premises, first thing you do, check.
It's my mantra. Make sure you got your keys, your wallet, your phone before you leave, because otherwise...
Good idea for a song.
Second album done.
I can relate to that, because like my dad always said to me, get a firewall, you know, and all that. So they're definitely recognisable with everybody. So you mentioned a second album then.
Yes.
When does that look likely to...
We're writing it at the moment. Probably start recording it in August. Probably out in early November, just in time for Christmas.
Not perfect Christmas gift.
The ideal Christmas gift.
And you've got a fantastic MySpace site, which I'll let you promote now. I mean, you've got a blog on there and video clips, and you can even listen to the songs.
Yes, should we give out our web address now?
Let's.
www.myspace.com/the Lancashire Hotpots.
Don't use too many W's, it is just 3, but there's a bit of a tune there. Second album done.
See what we're doing here.
So what was the first song out of the album that you wrote? Was it Chippy T the first, or was it...
No.
Was it MySpace?
A mess ago on MySpace. That was the first song we wrote, and everything sort of rolled on since then. So that was... To be honest, I had the idea in March of 2006, but we were busy, we were doing other things, we just left it until it was the first week in December. Came down to visit you in Coventry, and...
Flat cap on, never look back.
Yes!
That's brilliant. Well, good luck for tonight's show. We're absolutely looking forward to it.
Cheers, Cocker.
And well, thank you for spending some time with Radio Royal.
Not a problem, thank you, Cocker.
Cheers, Cocker. See you later.
So we move on in my 2007 diaries now to Friday, the 12th of October 2007. I didn't interview him that night, but if you look, I had a ticket for the Fenton in Leeds, and we went watching them again. What did I write? I put, we went watching the Lancashire Hotpots tonight at the Fenton, one of my wife's old university pubs. We arrived at the pub just after 7:30, but we had a bit of a wait because the Hotpots weren't coming on until 10:15. We managed to see some of the supporting act, a Yorkshire comedy punk band called Jeffrey Oycott. Most of the band members weren't even wearing any clothes. As for the Hotpots, they were worth the wait. It was a very intimate gig. The Hotpots played for 45 minutes or so, playing all their classics from their first album. My diaries then move on to Saturday the 1st of December 2007. So, listen to this. Well, what a night. We were meant to be watching the Lancashire Hotpots perform live at the St Helens Citadel, but when we got into the auditorium, there were people sat in our seats. We definitely had tickets A1 to A5. St Helens Citadel had double booked the seats. We couldn't believe it. They did offer us some basic chairs placed at the side of the balcony, but the view was rubbish. And so by 9 o'clock, we were on the way home, all gutted and deflated. I'd interviewed the Lancashire Hotpots an hour or so before we found out about the double booking. So here is, despite not seeing them that night, this was my second interview with the Lancashire Hotpots from December the 1st, 2007.
Well, we're here back at the St Helens Citadel with the Lancashire Hotpots. Good evening, gents. And we last interviewed you back in July.
July it was, yeah.
And you went down a tree on St Luke's Sam. What have been the highlights of 2007 for you?
2007 is the year that we've pretty much done a lot, really, isn't it?
Yeah, we've had a good laugh so far, haven't we?
Yeah.
And we had a couple of days of good weather as well.
Yeah.
So,
We were working out last night that we've done like about 600 gigs and 597 of those were in the rain. So it's never been dry.
Until we play America, and then, you know, it'll be sunshine all the way.
No, well,
No.
We'll
Well,
make it.
maybe Jamaica then.
and we'll be in debt, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be alright though.
And You've recently recorded a live album, which is it going in the High Street on Monday?
Monday, yes.
It's out in shops, aren't it, Monday?
It's coincided quite well, this hometown gig, hasn't it?
Available in all good stockists.
If you love the Hotpots, why not try their live album? I don't know who's that guy. Oh, who he is, right. So,
Because
voice on the blog.
Yorkshire listeners, they can all pick up in HMB and places like that now.
Oh, well, indeed. Whenever CDs are sold, I'm sure you'll find it somewhere. We received some statistics for the Nevermind Hotpots album, and that is reaching as far as wide as Stirling, Glasgow, the Isle of Wight.
Australian, I've heard.
Australia to get into, yeah.
Mine will be again.
Also chip in and to let you know that 50% of statistics are 70% made up, so just bear that in mind. That's right.
That's right.
I've thought of an idea on where you could do a game show with all four of you. I'm a hot pot, get me out of here.
We like that, sir.
And do welly throwing and things. But anyway, if
Will he throw it?
Well,
Hey, I don't mind them lobbing me about cocker. It's how many
It's got to be on after 9 o'clock.
Throw me back the car at 11 there, just pour me in.
here's one for you. If there was a Lancashire food or drink delicacy that you could encourage people around the world to go into, what would it be?
Egg smoothie.
Is that principally from Lancashire, though?
I don't know. Pie smoothie?
Pie smoothie, now, there you go.
Now, I think a hot gravel chaser. Hot gravel. A little bit of bovril.
Pie smoothie. Meat and potatoes pie smoothie with a hot gravel chaser.
With a bit of hot bovril just on top.
Yeah. Outside salad and bovril.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Well, do you?
I'll have one now, so I'll serve it up.
Yeah, give it out.
Your throat needs one of them anyway. You've been not doing too well.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's a bit rough.
Your MySpace site's still popular. Have you noticed this on YouTube? There's some guys doing Lego videos of you.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
Like the
Jack
Lancashire
Benson,
Hotpots.
he's 14 years old.
He's
He's got a very
talented young man.
long career ahead of him in
They're unbelievable, aren't you?
I am glad he's 14 though, and not 40, playing with Lego.
Each to their own, Bernard. Can't judge a book by its cover. That's all I
So,
say.
are we going to have an argument here?
If you want.
Right.
I hope not.
Well, let's save that
Look
for
on your
later.
face. That's a very serious look on your face, Bernard.
They can't tell it's radio. Chill out.
I'm commentating.
All right.
No, we never fight.
Last time you mentioned Preston was like a gig that stood out, and you said it was like awesome. What gigs have stood out since then? We saw you at Benson, and that was like...
We did Preston again, didn't we?
Yeah.
But a different venue, it was a larger venue. It was the 53 Degrees, which is attached to the university, and that was sold out.
We were mobbed.
Quite a landmark, I think, boys. It brought a tear to my eye, anyway.
You're doing Callan Academy as well, aren't you, in April next year?
Yeah. On the up. Just trying to get to bigger places, bigger audiences, really, because we've done gigs in smaller places where people can't get in, and we want to spread the hot pot love. You do in the privacy of your own bedroom.
Yeah.
Considering me.
That'll be following you around the next 20 years.
Hey!
You're mine. Right, I'm good.
So, what's your plans for next year? Is there any plans?
To get leathered.
Getting drunk,
Yeah.
We're going to try and get as much free ale as we can in the next 10 years.
We need to up the amount of money that we ask to do a gig and up the rider from nothing to at least something.
Yeah. That'd be a good idea.
Because we're spending all the money we're earning from gigs on the ale in the place that we're playing, so that's not good.
And Gaviscon.
We're just giving them their own money back. That needs to change.
Yeah. Negative equity.
That's right. We're actually losing money.
How do you want that one out?
We'll have to hire an accountant, I think, to show us how to do things properly.
We're coming out of gigs 80 quid down, that's not good. And 8 stone heavier.
Wrong.
That's right.
Well, good luck with the new album.
Thanks very much.
Fantastic Christmas. We're going to play Christmas in Lancashire now, but best of luck for the new year.
And so, let's fast forward 17 years and catch up with Dickie and Bob from the Lancashire Hotpots to find out what's happening with the band now, what they're up to for the rest of the year. So, on the Benson interviews now, 17 years later, we catch up with Dickie and Bob from the Lancashire Hotpots. Good evening, you two.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good night. Hello.
Well, 2024. Who'd have thought I'd be back interviewing you? But it's a big year for you. I think let's start with the big bash in December, because I tell you what, that's going to be a good gig, I think. Tell a little bit about that.
Well, it's at the Manchester Academy one, Saturday the 14th of December. We've got Our Good Selves, which, in and of ourselves is a good night out. And then we've also got the 70s rock and roll legends Shwaddy Waddy. And then we've got Black Lace. And together they form a big ball of party fun, which is the Big Bash 4. So it's a night that...
was going to say, this is the fourth one, isn't it? This is the fourth one.
Yes.
Yeah, God, they flew by. We
Yeah.
kind of had this idea, well, obviously about 4 years ago, because Manchester was getting quite good for us. We always went down well from the start, really. I remember playing the Dry Bar, the first time we played Manchester, I think it was, the Dry Bar. And we just thought we should do something with this and capitalize upon it. Let's try and push it. Can we go bigger? Can we add something to the bill? And here we are. It was one of those moments, we call them Zoo TV moments, when like you two kind of push the boundary of Zoo TV. It's like, can we do this? I don't know. Let's go Zoo TV. And we did. And we're on number 4, so we must be doing something right.
Without giving anything away on the end, I'm hoping you do. Do you all get on the stage together for a bit of a Band-Aid moment? Does it work, or is that spoiler alert?
I don't think we've done that. We've not done that yet, have we?
Oh, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? I can picture that, like Hotpots, Shawaddy Waddy, and Black Lace singing "Do They Know It's Christmas?" That'd be something, wouldn't it?
when we send off the logistics to the various artists, we'll have to write something in their contracts which says everybody has to come on stage for a big end of Live Aid moment.
And some of the acts, they've got quite a bit to travel, haven't they? So they kind of they've got to get on that tour bus and get down the other end of the country, or they're gigging somewhere else the next evening. So maybe one day we'll have a full lineup on the end.
It might just happen. Bob, if I can ask you though, as well as the gig in December, there's 2 other tours happening this year. There's the Non-Stop Saturday Night Tour and Too Much Too Old. We're going to put the dates on the screen for those that are watching on YouTube, but tell us a little bit about those.
Non-Stop Saturday Night is kind of what we're doing at the moment. That's the theatre tour. We did Southport last week. That was sold out. It's my hometown. I always have a couple of cans and invite the entire audience back to my house, but nobody ever turns up because I don't tell them where I live. So there's some logic there. And then the next few dates with the Lowry on Saturday, that's sold out. Lancaster, that's sold out. Is it Burnley after that? Burnley Mechanics?
Sold out.
Yeah.
Sold out. So the last 2 that we've gone on the Non-Stop Saturday Night Tour is Blackpool, the Blackpool Grand, tickets left for that, and St Helens Theatre Royal. Too Much Too Old, Dickie, do you want to kind of talk about that one?
Yeah, that's where we return to our standing format, and that's where we, because the Theatre Summer Tour generally tends to be the Northwest only. On the Too Much Too Old Tour, it's standing, and it is more of a traditional sort of gig, and then we're able to gig right across the country, from London, Newcastle, Leeds, Nottingham. Nottingham's always a good night. We enjoy our nights in Nottingham, as well as a few choice Northwest venues. And that'll take us up to Christmas, where we have a rest for a couple of months, and then the madness starts all over again.
Obviously, you're doing some massive festivals though. Kendall Calling. I mean, there's the videos on YouTube. You talk thousands of people singing, Chippy Tea, etc. That must be amazing.
It's mad, isn't it? It's mad. We started off with Kendall a long time ago now in one of the littler tents, and that was absolutely rammed. And yeah, people have been kind of coming up with kind of the house band now opening up on the Sunday. We'll keep turning up there if people still keep coming out to watch us. Kendall's great fun.
Yeah, it is strange. There's a chap who's like one of the head of securities for Kendall Calling, and a day or so after we've appeared, he will comment under one of our Kendall posts to provide some sort of statistics as to how well we did. And we opened on the Sunday last year at Kendall Calling, and Royal Blood were headlining on the Sunday, and he said that we had as big a crowd as the first act on as the headlining band for that day. So that's amazing.
Now, obviously, since 2007, you've had so many album releases. I'll ask Bob first, if I may. What's the album that you look back on with the most fondness, that you think that stands up well? Which one are you most proud of?
I think I mean, they're all got their own charm in their own way. But recently, well, for the past couple of years, really, I always kind of return to Fistful of Scratch Cards because it's one of the albums that it's got a theme. It's a country theme. We decided to do a country and western. We're all dressed as sort of cowboys on the front, cowboys by nature, and I think musically it stands up. We kind of, we kind of really got into that country vibe. And on this particular tour, we've kind of one of the songs that's kind of no, it's not, is it? Oh yes, Heartburn. It's a song. It's almost a love song because it's about your heart, but it's about indigestion as well and having too much Greg's. And that's on Fistful of Scratch Cards. So we kind of brought that out. So yeah, Fistful of Scratch Cards for me.
What about you, Dickie?
I think it has to be Actung Gravy. It's one of those albums where you can play it from start to finish, and there's not a bad track. And it's also one of those albums whereby if you wanted to introduce somebody to the Lancashire Hotpots, play them that, and from start to finish, you'll get an example of all the variety of songs that we're likely to put out. So it's a very good emblem of what we do musically. So I put that on Gravy.
And the cover's really good as well, isn't it?
And the cover's really good.
The cover's really good. Not robbed off anybody at all.
No.
No copyrights.
The thing I like about your back catalogue is that you can forget about songs and you've not listened to them for months. Like today, I listened to Polka and I totally not listened to that probably for years. And oh my goodness, I was just smiling away. But it must be like, is it like that?
Set? It's back in the set, that one.
Whoa, it's. I mean, that's the thing about the back catalogue. I mean, obviously there's the Dibner, a great song again that I've not heard in a long time. But there's what would you say? And I was just going to say to yourselves as well. The Hotpots and Annie is a great way, I think, of getting introduced to the band. Whose idea was that back in? Was it during lockdown?
Dicky Tickers.
Well, I was just bored with New Year's Eve TV, and we generally set out to film one or two of our gigs in their entirety each year. So I just thought it's the usual thing. If you don't like what's on television, then technically YouTube is television in this day and age. So why not prepare your own 1 hour show, which will take you up to midnight? And it's just a great thing for all our fans that who are sat at home. We can have albeit virtually online, we can have this communal get together. We can see in there the New Year's together, and and as Bob will testify, when we're performing on stage, we don't get to see any of ourselves on stage because we're in the moment. Yeah, we're in the moment doing it. So it's great for us just to sit back with a can and experience a Hotpots performance as the people in the audience do for the first time.
I remember was it the first one you'd recorded performances in somebody's house, hadn't you? I think it was was it for the first Hotpots and Annie? You were all in someone's front room, I think.
It looked like a front room, but that's actually a room in our rehearsal studios where we go. And yeah, that came from during lockdown, where we were doing streaming gigs. So we had a lot of sort of footage from those. I think the first Hotpots and Annie was probably around about 2020, 2021. Was it, Dickie?
It was about then. It's about the same time as the Big Bash has been going, there or thereabouts.
So we had that footage, and we kind of used that for the first Hotpots and Annie. Yeah.
Final question for you both. Obviously, there's lots of gigs happening this year, but let's start with you, Bob. Out of all the gigs, and obviously, which would be your favourite that you have played? Was it maybe for atmosphere, or just for maybe you played something different? But which gig stands out to date?
What for the entire 17
your entire career? Yeah, Hotpots. Yeah.
God, there's been a few. Was it the when I fell off the stage in Middlesbrough, or was it? No, it wasn't that one. I'd probably have to say the first time we played Glastonbury Festival in the Avalon tent, and we had no idea what was going to happen. We were on stage and just setting up with no road crew or anything like that. We kind of setting up, looked around the tent. It's in a tent, the Avalon stage. A couple of people that we knew in the audience. All right, yeah, okay, yeah. A couple of people dotted around. Oh, this might be okay. Went back off stage, got changed into our costumes, uniforms, whatever you want to call them, and then came back on stage and the whole place was rammed, absolutely rammed, massive cheer when we went on. And that was a Glastonbury festival. There we are, and yeah, so that's kind of the 2 years after that where we played Glastonbury, probably not as glorious as that for other reasons which we've not got time to go into. And my nervous system won't take it.
What about you, Dickie?
See now that's trying to single out things, and I don't necessarily want to disadvantage anything. I do remember, I think it was 2018 where we played. I mean, this just comes off the top of my head. We played the Camden Assembly in London, and it was small. It was only a 200 capacity room, so obviously we're used to playing much bigger rooms than that. But for some reason, the roar from the crowd was something I will never forget, because we have what I refer to as in-ear monitors now. You see the pop stars with them all the time. It's just basically like their earbuds in, and I just remember not having the opportunity when Chippy T finished and not having the opportunity to walk off stage, even because there wasn't even space at the side of the stage. This room was that small, but just the roar from the crowd, it was a volume that I struggled to comprehend. And I always think that if people are cheering and shouting as loud as that, it's just a signal that you've done your job, because they're in such a good mood, and that has always stuck in my mind as a crowd's appreciation for what we do.
I think I nearly fell off the stage that night as well.
You what? Sorry?
I think I nearly fell off the stage that night as well.
It was a bit of a mad load out, that as well, Bob.
Well, good luck for all the gigs this year. Thank you for giving us a catch up, both of you, and we'll put the details on the screen. But Dickie and Bob, keep it going. Thank you so much for joining us.
Cheers, Chris.
Cheers.
Thank you. So that's it from me from the Benson interviews. It was great to catch up with the Lancashire Hotpots, still touring, still going strong. Don't forget to catch up with previous episodes are available on my YouTube channel. Search Chris Benson Quiz. Episode 1 features Jim Bowen, and episode 2 features Cannon and Ball. Look out for episode 4 coming up shortly, where we'll be catching up with a Leeds band I interviewed in 2007 on a couple of occasions. 4 Letter Holiday. Fascinating story. Until then, bye for now.